cook like a Greek. What does that mean? For Greeks, food is love, and the kitchen is the heart and soul of the Greek household, where the family shares meals and spends time together, where the matriarch, or in my case, the patriarch, dispenses advice and food. Lots of food. All the food. And that's what this show is all about. A little bit of advice, a little bit of cooking, and a lot of love. Welcome, my friends. Today we'll be making one of my all-time favorite comfort foods. It is angel hair pasta and meat sauce. But before we get to the ingredients, first we go to the Greek Dad Advice inbox. Hey Greek Dad, what advice do you have for a couple about to get married, soon to be newlywed in the Northwest? Newlywed or soon to be newlywed? I'm glad you asked me this question. I've been married for 15 years and I have great advice for folks about to get married. Now pay close attention. So one of the two of you basically has to give up your entire life to make the other person happy. Anything they want, they got it. You serve them hand and foot, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, you name it. And that is really bad advice. No, don't, just ignore all that. That's horrible advice. And by the way, for any of you spouses out there that paused the video at that point and did one of those, you should be ashamed of yourself. No. My wife is looking at me right now saying, yes, you're the kind of spouse that would pause the video right there and do that. Yes, because that's my sense of humor. That's what I do. Obviously, I have better advice, and we're going to get to that advice, newlywed. Don't worry. But first, we get to the ingredients. We have 2 tablespoons of basil, 3 tablespoons of parsley, 3 tablespoons of oregano, 3 tablespoons of powdered garlic, 2 tablespoons of powdered onion, 3 tablespoons of finely chopped garlic. I don't do it myself, I buy it like that. 1 large onion, finely chopped, 4 medium-sized tomatoes, de-seeded and chopped, 2 large bell peppers, finely chopped, about 2.5 pounds of ground beef, 2 cups of red wine. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon. Merlot works and Chianti works as well. 2 cans of tomato sauce, 1 can tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of clove. We have 1 pound of angel hair pasta, 3 tablespoons of butter, and afterwards we're going to top it off with some grated Parmesan. All right, we're ready to cook. I'm going to start warming up the spices, but first, newlywed, I'm going to give you something to think about. Marriage is hard work. Maintaining any relationship over a period of time, years, is hard work. And that's not the only work we have, right? We all have full-time jobs. Either kids come along later, or kids are already part of the picture when you get married, and that's work too. So between maintaining your marriage, working your job, taking care of your kids, what do you need to do so you don't find yourself 5, 10, 15 years later sitting at the dinner table looking to your spouse and thinking, I have no idea who this person is? Think about that, and I'm going to start warming up the spices, all right? I set the pot medium heat. I add the spices and let that toast. As the pot warms up, the spices will toast, and that will add an extra dimension and more flavor to the sauce. All right, make sure that as the spices are toasting, you mix them up, you stir them so they're evenly toasted and you don't burn any bits and pieces of them. Do that for about 4 minutes. All right, the spices are nicely toasted. It's time to add plenty of oil and all the veggies. Very important part is you add the salt here. Little Greek Dad tip. Salt draws out the moisture from the veggies, which creates liquid, which helps cook the vegetables. So you mix it all really nice. You add pepper as well at this point. If you like, you can add some red pepper as well if you want a little bit of spice. So that is all mixed together. All right. The veggies are in, they're stirred in. You cover the pot and you cook this medium heat for 20 minutes. When that's almost done, I start with the meat, with the browning the ground beef. To do this, I have a very peculiar way, the way I make meat sauce. I use a stainless steel pot to brown the ground beef, and then I mix everything together. Stainless steel handles high heat better. Non-stick pots, not so much. So that's why I use two things, and I mix it all together later. Okay, the veggies are done. It's been 20 minutes, they're cooked. I turn this on the high. Once it heats up, I'm gonna add some oil, and then I'm gonna add the ground beef, and I'll use a special tool to help break down the ground beef. Okay, let's add the oil. You can tell the pan is hot. See the ripples in the oil? It's definitely hot enough. Time to add the meat. To avoid splatters, you start towards you and you set it away. Pull this off. All right, this is how I salt meat. I don't know a lot about snow, but I think of it as a light dusting of snow on the ground. It doesn't completely cover it, but you get a light dusting like this. And this has served me well for salting meat. All right, now, Greek dad tip, I use a potato masher to get my ground beef smooth. So I break it up like this. Once it starts to break up, just turn up the heat a little bit all the way high. You're mixing it so you can have it on high, you don't have to worry about burning anything. I kind of like do this mixing motion, so I'm also mixing it as well. You continue to stir the ground beef for about 5 minutes till it's nicely brown, and then you add your vegetables in. Now, I like to cook this to where the pink is gone. Now, there's a problem with that because I'm colorblind. So I need the eyeballs of somebody else. My eldest is here, she's helping me, and she's gonna take a gander. Is the pink gone?
Yes.
The word is yes. She could be tricking me. No, just kidding. I trust my daughter. All right, time. She's laughing. She's like, do you? Do you, Dad? Time to add the veggies. You mix in the vegetables. You add the wine. You stir it all together, and then you cover it and let it cook for 20 minutes. All right, it's been 20 minutes. Now we're gonna add the tomato sauce, the tomato paste, the cinnamon, and the clove, the ground clove. We're gonna stir it all together, cover it, we're gonna move that over, and we're gonna start the pasta. All right, I have added sufficient water and salt to the pasta pot. Once that brings to a boil, we'll be able to add the pasta. In the meanwhile, newlywed, let's think about how do you nurture that love? What can you do to nurture and grow your love over the years of your marriage? I have a clue to my final piece of advice, and that clue is time. Time is the most precious gift we have to give to one another. And I'll get into the details of that once the pasta is done and the food is plated, and then we'll wrap all this up. All right, the pasta is strained. I like to leave a little bit of water in there. As you see, I have the butter waiting for it inside the pot, inside the bowl. I add a couple of ice cubes. This will help stop the cooking. And I don't know, 2 tablespoons or so of olive oil. And I mix it together. I have found, and this is especially crucial with angel hair pasta, that this technique helps keep the pasta from getting sticky. All right. It is time to plate. All right, the food has been plated and it looks delicious. And we're going to try it in just a second. But first, Newlywed, we're going to answer your question. So what do I mean when I say you got to spend time? Or time is the most precious gift you can give to someone. Quality time between a husband and a wife, between spouses, is vital to nurturing your love, to putting forth the effort into growing together and growing old together and nurturing your marriage as the years go by. And when I say quality time, I mean just the two of you. Get a sitter for the kids, leave your electronic devices in another room. The work emails and texts and all that stuff can wait. Find something the two of you can do together, distraction free, and just focus on one another. So my advice is make a plan and spend time together and stick to it. I'd say at least do it at least once a month, whether it's a date night or a date day or a date whatever. Just the two of you focusing on each other, and that will help you grow closer together despite all the craziness that life throws at you. And now, time to try the food. My family's asked me not to take a huge... They've also asked me not to cough on camera. They've asked me not to take a huge bite of the food, so I'm going to try not to go crazy here. But it looks so tasty. Bear with me a second. I'm going to try to get a nice, normal person-sized forkful. My wife didn't think that was a normal person-sized forkful. I have a big mouth. She's still laughing. That is delicious. And the other thing I love about this, the meat sauce, it's versatile. You can use it, obviously, any pasta you want. You can put it on rice. You can use it when you make lasagna. There's a Greek dish I make called pasticcio. It's the same type of meat sauce I use in that. It works in tacos. Change the spices up a little bit. Heck, mix it with some refried beans. Make burritos. I love it. It's good. All right, my friends, the cooking is done. Advice has been shared. I hope you enjoyed the show. I enjoy doing it. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to follow this channel and like and share the video. If you're looking for advice, or you want to say hi, or send a message, you can find me on Twitter at HeyGreekDad. Or you can find me on Facebook. You can send a message to @TheGreekDad or find my Facebook page, The Greek Dad. If you're interested in any sponsorship or product placement opportunities, you can go to thegreekdad.com, cook like a Greek. And don't worry if you didn't get all that down, because it's all in the description below. Thank you. See you next time.